Aloha mai kako. First of all, I just wish to acknowledge this place and all those ancestors that have walked these lands before us. Um, over the past few days, we've had the unique opportunity to learn from one another. We've had the chance to reflect on what we've done differently and to reaffirm the importance of putting our community first. I'm extremely honored to be asked to be with you all today. And I wish that Mahalo Jen and her team, especially for the amazing gift of bringing us all here together. And also, she said that if I came with my recent knee surgery and sciatic condition I'm under, that she'd bring me a special chair. So I don't want you to think that's a mayor's chair. That is the chair of a wounded warrior who needed help to sit through this. Which, by the way, I enjoyed every single presentation. I'm going to touch on some of them now. In a world where each of us is tirelessly fighting for our communities, I'm grateful that you all chose to spend your time here, which is uniting us in a common goal that we all share of healing our people and, just as importantly, healing ourselves. In Maui County, recovery has always been community-led and government-supported. From the earliest days after the wildfires, we have convened nearly 90 community meetings. We've established a Lahaina advisory committee made up of 5 individuals from that community, which continues to meet weekly. And as you may have heard a little bit from some of the panel, in particular Paele, we've placed cultural guidance at the forefront of our efforts to protect our historic town. And in doing so, we've worked to ensure that recovery honors not only the needs of our people, but also our aina, our lands, our traditions, and our values. Every step forward has been shaped by those voices, by the families who have endured loss, by our cultural practitioners who remind us of our kuleana, our responsibility, our obligation to our place, and of course by the partners who stand beside us as we rebuild. This has been the foundation of our approach, and it continues to guide the work ahead. As you just heard, 8 months into my first term in office, the fires of Lahaina and Kula struck. It was the greatest test of leadership and community strength that we had ever faced. Overnight, my purpose, like so many of you, and you've all touched on this in some way or another, was redirected. And together we began navigating the most formidable challenges that our community has ever known. With the incredible support of our congressional delegation, our federal partners, the state of Hawaii, our grassroots and local partners, and above all, with the resilience of our community, whose strength is really shown through our darkest hour, I'm pleased to share the measurable progress that we've made and the challenges we continue to navigate together. What is absolutely clear, and I think this last panel just touched on it as well, is that preparedness is what saves lives. And that's why strengthening our emergency management office has been one of our top priorities. Let me explain what I mean by that. By investing in our people, in our equipment, and our technology, we're making sure that our county is better prepared to respond to disasters when they strike, and that our communities especially are never felt as if they're alone. When the fire struck, our Maui Emergency Management Agency had a total of 9 staff. Today we have 25, with staffing including on the islands of Molokai and Lanai. So Maui has 165,000 population. We're made up of 4 islands, 3 that are inhabited. Kaho'olawe is not inhabited. And the town of Hana, somewhat isolated from the rest of our community, also has emergency management personnel there as well. Our fire department added 29 new firefighter positions, upgraded trucks, other equipment. Our police department now has a helicopter. That might not be a big deal to some of you guys here, but we have a helicopter dedicated to our police department. And while that's important is because they have night vision, hotspot capability, and they've increased water transport capacity that can help with our rescue and wildfire response. And they've already been called into action on a couple of occasions recently on Maui. MEMA is our Maui Emergency Management Agency, has also launched the Genesis Protect app. We do that in addition to watch duty, by the way, in addition to. The Genesis Protect app gives residents real-time evacuation alerts and have already been used, again, during recent fires and our tsunami warning. So what we've done is that the island is divided into grids. Every grid is given a number, and you're told to evacuate by your grid. That keeps more cars off the road, as all the emergency management folks know, and makes it for a more orderly evacuation. And we've expanded training for our community emergency response teams, otherwise known as CERT, so that our neighbors can step up in emergencies. I do want to touch on our housing, again, something we've all talked about in this week. The wildfires did not create Maui's housing crisis, but they have made it even more urgent. From our very beginning, our priority has been clear, and that's to bring our people home. If we do not recognize the faces of our neighbors, then we have lost. We risk losing even more than homes. We risk losing that very community that makes our island and our community so special. The goal was not to rebuild structures, it was to rebuild community, but the exact same community. By last September, the United States Army Corps of Engineers completed debris removal on more than 1,500 properties. Drinking water was restored in Lahaina in 2024 sewer service earlier this year. Both of those things ahead of schedule. As of last week, I want to make sure I get this, 491 building permits have been issued, 341 permit applications are in process, and 285 properties are in active construction. 59 homeowners have already moved back into their homes. But to put it in the terms that we've been talking about this week, in total, that means that 68% of the 1,200 single-family homes that were lost are now either under construction in the permitting stage or have already been rebuilt. More than half of all fire-affected households are now in permanent housing. With the launch of our Ho'okumuho programs, I will test you on all of these Hawaiian words after this, are supported by our CDBG disaster recovery funding. We're bridging funding gaps to help homeowners rebuild and give first-time homebuyers a chance to stay on Maui. This program is projected to help build 250 single-family homes, help 200 renters become first-time homeowners, and rebuild most of the multifamily properties that were destroyed in Lahaina. At every step, we're working to keep Lahaina in the hands of Lahaina families. Each permit, each home rebuilt, each family returning is proof that progress is happening. I'd like us to take a quick look at how this journey is unfolding.
Everything changed. Our home was gone, our town was gone, everything was gone. Just everything changed.
When you're 16 months into a recovery and normalcy still feels so far away, you need help. And getting that help is the difference between people being able to stay on Maui or leaving. People are leaving the only place they've ever called home. Those are the stakes. They're not theoretical. This is happening to hundreds of families in West Maui.
The majority of our residents and data continues to show that the needs are in housing, our spaces in housing, providing stable housing for our community.
Everyone understood that if we did this together, we could rebuild 10 times faster, and that we have to make sure everyone gets a home above them, everyone.
You know, it's the people, it's not the place. So if we lose the people from Lahaina, Lahaina will not be the same.
Housing is the foundation of stability. It's the foundation of recovery. And so we want Hawaii to remain special. And so the people of Hawaii need to be here to keep it that way.
We have strived to make sure in every event that recovery is driven by the community.
Building back Lahaina, building back Maui as a whole to support the future generations who need to be able to call Hawaii home or at least have options is super important. And so the county's been very involved, they've been very supportive of that long-term plan of helping families from start to finish.
The clear North Star that we've been following is having people move back to their properties. That's the number one goal. For me, success will be that we can get people home, our businesses will be thriving and vibrant again, and we'll be adding, the cultural and historical sites into our plan.
During the very first community outreach session that we had for the long-term recovery plan, there was a kupuna at the table, and we asked the question, what don't you want to change about your community moving forward? And he immediately kind of put his hands on his hips and said, my neighbors.
We want our people to stay, so we are developing non-traditional metrics, I would say, where it's not just about how many building permits, it's not just about how many structures, but who's living in those structures. Do we actually recognize the faces of those that live in these houses? So I'm happy to say that right behind me are a number of those success stories where these are all local families. They all were here right before the fire and they're all rebuilding.
I could have easily just say, picked up and moved someplace. The community, for some reason, told me, Tom, where are you going to find a place that really care for each other that much?
At the peak of our programs, CNHA was housing over 1,000 residents that were impacted by the fire. So this is intended to help them get on their feet and as they try to figure out how to get back to their home.
So I think for us, we want to keep up the energy and the momentum that we've started and that we've continued with, because obviously our goal is to see this through, having this town rebuilt, and in the way that the community wants to see it, the way we can have it be safe, vibrant, thriving again.
It's an important concept, like what will make Hawaii whole? It's its people, and so it's time they come home.
Housing, it's a big deal. It was a big deal before the disaster. This just magnified that problem. So we know we have thousands of families that still need a permanent solution. We are working with all of our partner agencies and our county council and the governor's office for those solutions.
I'm very proud of people, like I said, who stepped up, partnering with federal government, the state government, the nonprofit community. It's really been uplifting to have so many people come to our aid. There are a lot of exciting things that are happening daily, advancing ultimately our recovery.
I'm really happy to see that not only myself, but other people are able to start building. It's hope. You can see the hope come alive.
So our journey is not finished, but we have made real progress. And with the support of critical CDBG DR funding, we have a plan and a pathway forward. By the way, it took us about 20 months from when we applied to get that funding, which for those of you who have done this before know that's a record we didn't want to have. Usually it's between 6 to 12 months that funding is received, and it took us obviously a lot longer to receive that. But we did get it, and we're very satisfied and happy with that. Lahaina has reminded us that resilience is about more than rebuilding structures. As you've heard us say time and again, it's about protecting families, preserving community, and ensuring that people can continue to call Maui home. Our mission has always been to return our people home to their properties, to their neighborhoods, and to the community that defines us. This is going to touch on some of what all of us have been trying to say in one way or another, and I'll just tell you the way I see it. To do this work, you don't need to love your job. You need to love your people, because that is what makes you get up every time you get knocked down. And I think everyone who has took this stage has said this in one way or another, and that's how I see it. Finally, I wish to acknowledge the group that's gathered here today. The path ahead for most of us is long, but in this room, we are surrounded by people who understand it best. As you've heard this week, we are the worst club of the best people. Some of us, none of us chose to join it, but here we are. bound by shared experience and an unwavering commitment to recovery. As we all know, the journey we share often moves between grief and gratitude. To our friends from Los Angeles and all who have faced the daunting road of recovery, know that you are not alone. There will be good days and there will be difficult days, but know that you have allies, you have hope, and you have friends. Yeah, you have friends beside you in this room. Listen to your community, lean on one another, hold fast to the truth that while healing takes time, it is possible. And I truly believe that you will get there. Mahalo. So Jen did ask if I would bring an ukulele, and I did not, because that was not the plan. But she said I still have 13 minutes, so she wants me to fill it with something. But I know you guys all want to go and get out of here, but that's what I meant. They all want to go. So I just say I'm just playing. I'm playing, Jen. I'm playing. So I'm gonna try to do something. So I'm gonna try to play this song on this ukulele. And sorry if it doesn't come out exactly right. But it's a song about our place on Maui, and you'll all understand it. It's all in English. It was written by my cousin, and it talks about our famous mountain. So sorry about this. One summer morning, I took an early ride to watch that sunrise in the beautiful sky. As it was rising, I could see all my dreams on top of that mountain called Haleakalā. Haleakalā, a beautiful mountain. It stands all alone, so peacefully. Haleakalā, a beautiful mountain. It stands all alone, so peacefully. One summer morning, I took an early ride to watch that sunrise in the beautiful sky. As it was rising, I could see all my dreams on top of that mountain called Haleakalā. Haleakalā, a beautiful mountain. It stands all alone, so peacefully. Haleakalā, a beautiful mountain. It stands all alone, so peacefully. It stands all alone, so peacefully. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Oh, my wife Isabella Kaihi. Listen.